Hey, we're on different sides, Nikki B. We're on different sides.
What? How'd this happen?
I'm not even sure. Yes, indeed. What up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday.
It's actually a Friday for me.
Yeah, that never happens.
No, it's great.
TGIF, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is the hottest podcast across the land. The hottest podcast across the globe. And definitely the hottest podcast on YouTube Live. This is Mixture of Variety. I'm your host, Patient Zero, with my co-host on the other side,
Nikki P.
Give it up one time. Give it up one time. This is Mixture of Variety. Mixture of Variety, the internet show sensation.
Indeed.
The hottest show since Howard Stern. Let's just put it that way.
I concur.
So here we are, Nikki P. Another night, another Friday. We are here every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, or at least close to around 9 p.m. Eastern. We go live, and we have 10 episodes, and this is actually episode 11, Nikki P.
11.
Believe it? We're just moving along.
Can you believe it, though? For me, that just says, like, fuck, the year's flying already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost, the first quarter of the year is just about over in like 10 days.
Yeah.
Spring is this weekend. You know, I'm hopefully everybody's happy about that. So happy about that. And it's funny because, like, the weather actually changed exactly when it's spring. That usually never happens.
I know.
Like a blizzard until like mid-April or end of April. There's like snow on the ground. It's freezing. And now it's like, you know, it was cold yesterday, cold and windy today. And then tomorrow it's spring and it's going to be nice for like the week.
Yesterday, though, I felt like the wind was literally going to blow me away. Like today, it was bearable.
Yeah.
It was crazy yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. So, you know, check this out. We are here every Friday at 9 p.m., but we also have an audio show if you want to check that out. Monday through Thursday on Castbox FM. You can catch it live. If you can't catch the live show, it's all good.
Because they record.
Ladies and gentlemen. And we are on every podcast platform that you can imagine, all the main ones, especially, and even some that are not so main. Cheers to you, Nikki P.
Cheers. We got a nice Starfruit lemonade by Polar.
That sounds really good. I'm actually really thirsty. I have some oolong tea tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oolong.
Ooh.
That's like my new favorite thing. It's like in between black and green.
Ooh. You know? I like it.
It's really good.
The in-betweeners?
The in-betweeners. That's what we're going to get to in a second. We, you know, I don't put anything in my tea either, so it's like it's really good. It's delicious. So, you can catch us on all podcast platforms. All you have to do really is Google us and everything will pop up. And one of the things that's going to pop up is, besides our YouTube channel and all our podcast platforms and all the podcast audios that we did, our IG is going to pop up. Our Instagram is @MixtureOfVariety. If you want to follow the 4,500 followers that we have, you know, and see some of the craziest banners of your life, follow us. Why not? You'll get the 411 on what's happening with the show, and you'll find out hours before the show what we're talking about, since it is a variety show podcast.
Duh.
You didn't know by now. We have an intelligent audience. You guys probably figured that out by now, especially the newcomers. Mixture of Variety. It's a variety show podcast, which is why I call it more like an internet show podcast. Because we do things completely different, Nikki B.
We don't
edit anything. We upload it how it is. We go 5 times a week and we talk about anything and everything. That's not like most podcasts. Most podcasts, you talk about one subject. It's neatly packaged and edited, and you put it up like once a week or once every other week.
But we're ADHD, so
Exactly.
we're all over the place.
We're all over the place, and I love it. I love it like that, and I'm happy that Nikki P loves it like that, because I wouldn't have it any other way, because I just like talking about everything and not just being narrow-minded. I don't know.
Yes. We are wide-minded.
We are wide-minded, and speaking of that, we are a variety show podcast that talks about anything and everything. Make sure variety, we put the odd in podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We put the odd in podcast. And that is copyrighted, so don't try to take it. We can talk about anything from mental health and addiction to having sex with gay midget aliens, ladies and gentlemen. And what a show that is, Nikki P.
What a scene that is.
What a scene that is. Yeah, I can't wait to do that show live on YouTube, because woo is all I have to say. Obviously, that's not all we talk about, and we have over 210 audio episodes. We talk about it all, so we're not going to list everything that we talk about, but these are like the highlighted shows that we talk about. The in-betweeners, as Nikki P calls them. Nikki P, do you have that list?
Of course I do.
Okay. Oh, before we get started, do you have the link?
I have it all.
Okay, awesome. I forgot if I said it to you or not. Awesome. All right, so what do we got going? So obviously that's not all we talk about: mental health and addiction and having sex with midgets. What else? What else do we talk about?
To broaden your horizons, we also talk about mental illness, mental health, addiction, sobriety, recovery, experiences in a halfway house and rehab, LGBT life, relationships, current events and news, sex, hip-hop, mindfulness. Let's all take a mindfulness breath at the sound of the bell.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, you said it. I didn't even have to stop her. She said it perfectly. Ready? Here we go. When you hear the bell, deep breath. That was a shitty hit of the bell, but it's funny because I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was the first time out of over 200 shows that I missed the bell completely.
Did you?
I went like that. I was like, ready, here we go. When you heard the bell, and I hit the wood. I was like, how did that happen? That's a bad sign. All right, anyway, yes, we have many shows of mindfulness, as Nikki P will let you know, but we also just do the mindfulness breath just to remind us where our feet are planted and just to stay in the moment, because this moment is truly all we have.
It is. UFOs and aliens, conspiracy theories, random topics, and so much more.
But
above all,
Nikki P, we talk about positive energy and
laughs.
Positive energy and laughs. That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Hands down, that's what it's about. One thing I forgot to say is we are now officially on Bigo. Before we were just fucking around and dabbling in it. Now we're official hosts on Bigo, which means you can follow us, which means you can send us gifts, which means we are official on Bigo, and we will be there all the time, since we have to do a minimum of 30 hours a month. So you will see us on Bigo a lot, and our Bigo name is @IndaMix, INDA. So instead of like in the mix, @IndaMix on Bigo, and you can catch us there. The only reason, Nikki P, that I'm not recording right now is because when we have the boardroom meeting, we're going to have to figure something out. Because if I'm recording right now on Bigo, they're not going to be able to hear you.
Oh.
Because only I can hear you because I have headphones in.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I can think of is that you have to make a Bigo name. Hop on while I'm doing a host. Hop on. I'll invite you on. And then that's when we'll split the gifts. We'll have a board meeting about that next Friday, actually, a week from today. You guys don't need to know all about that right now, but just know that we are on Bigo right now @IndaMix. Follow us if you're on Bigo. If you know nothing about Bigo, check it out. You get to see, drag queens. You get to see thirsty hoes for begging for attention and flirting for gifts, and you get to see your boy Patient Zero.
Sounds like a good time.
It is definitely a good time. It's fun. It is fun. I didn't even know. Apparently, this came out in 2017. I didn't even know about it.
What? I heard of it a few months ago.
It came out in 2017, but it didn't have the live video until like last year or something like that.
Okay.
Like the live streaming, it didn't have since last year. So whatever. I'm just happy that I found out about it. All right, so not to scare you guys off, but if you're newcomers and we're letting you know what to expect out of the show, but I also want to let you know this. It is the disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, and Nikki P. I love how we're both in black today. It's actually perfect.
I know.
Perfect for the show. The disclaimer: if you are hypersensitive or get butthurt easy, this podcast is definitely not for you, bro.
Nope.
Sick and twist dark humor, vulgar uncensored language, and politically incorrect conversations are just some of the things.
And fun.
You'll hear on Mixture of Variety, which means listener discretion is definitely advised.
What? Huh?
Uh-oh.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Granny, she's facing the other way. Granny.
Where's my glasses? Oh my well, back in my day.
Yes, I know. There was no podcast. There was no music. There was no TV.
What did you say?
Nothing. I said hi. Welcome to the show. So that is Granny, everybody, and we love her to death. And
she's out of jail.
She's out of jail. I had to bail her out on Wednesday Wednesday, right?
The sex show.
Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Yeah, I had to fucking bail her out of jail for trying to smuggle drugs into the nursing home and fighting. Of course, always fighting. She's definitely on some crazy sedatives right now. I think that's why she's completely facing the wrong way. So hopefully she'll be all right with that, Nikki P. But you want to let people know a little bit about Granny?
Oh, Granny, where do I begin?
Why do we love her so much?
Well, we met her. Well, she comes to the show every day to the studio, including the weekends, where Aid just brings her. So finally, she's coming through, and she has a bag as, the size of her. So we look into it. We get security because we didn't know what was in there, an AK-47, shotgun, who the hell knows. And what did we find? I mean, she does.
She probably does. I mean, it's not like we now we definitely know that, but at first, when this first happened, I really
we didn't know.
Right, we didn't really know.
So security pulls out this what?
Nikki P, it was a 3-foot dildo.
Bruh.
Yes, indeed. There was. It sure was. I didn't even know that they made dildos that big, Nikki P.
Yeah, and Granny's only what, 4'2"?
Exactly. So basically, when she uses it, it comes out of her mouth. But what I'm going to say is that this is something that I never knew existed. So later that night, I ordered one for myself, but that's another podcast. But one thing you forgot to mention, she's also tatted from head to toe.
Oh, yes.
And we caught her in the parking lot smoking meth one day. She was
all the drugs.
Toad one day. Yeah, she actually asked for a fucking Band-Aid one day, ladies and gentlemen, because she admitted that she burnt her fingertips on a crack stem. Fucking Granny. That's why I wasn't even surprised when she was, she got caught smuggling drugs into the nursing home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even...
Oh, yeah, she parties in there, drinks.
Exactly.
Does it all.
That's why we love Granny, and her 100th birthday, this lady's 100 years old, her 100th birthday landed on her 100th show, so then we knew it was a sign, and then we knew for sure that we needed her energy for the show, and we had to make her another co-host of the show. And the best thing about it is that we don't have to put her on the payroll because she has Alzheimer's and dementia.
And Sundowner Syndrome.
So we could just let her know that, yeah, we paid you already, and she'll be like, oh, okay, I forgot.
You spent it on drugs.
Exactly. Speaking of weekend shows, I did want to say one special thing. I will be live tomorrow. We're never live on the weekends. But tomorrow, a special show. I would have completely forgot if you didn't mention about Granny coming on weekends. Granny will come tomorrow. I'm going to be live on Bigo, and I'm going to be live on Castbox FM. For all my hip-hop heads out there, you guys already know this already. Versus TV battle. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, another Versus TV battle where it's actually hip-hop artists, rappers. And the craziest thing about this is why it's going to be so lit is because it's Ghostface Killer versus Raekwon, and they're both in Wu-Tang. They're both in the Wu-Tang Clan. It's going to be fucking crazy, especially people in New York. East Coast, but all hip hop heads are gonna get, are gonna feel this. And I'm going live, Nikki P. At 8
When is it at 8?
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna go live until it's over. And it might not be over until 10:30, but I'm gonna be rocking out with my cock out, of course.
Obviously.
So make sure you guys, check that out. That is gonna be recorded too. I know it's actually, you know what? It might not be recorded because last time I attempted to record something that long, I couldn't upload it on Castbox. But either way, I'll be live on Bigo anyway. And we'll cover it. Anyway. Oh, shit, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news. And the breaking news comes in the form of a segment that we like to call Mini Holidays. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mini Holidays. Why? Because every day is a holiday.
The Turtle Kid seems to be missing. If you know of his whereabouts, please email us at mixtureofvariety@gmail.com.
Damn shame.
Where is he?
I don't know, but we have to find him. As you know, that is my new mission in life. But it's funny. It's so funny that you asked, like, you were searching with his real name, right? I was like, no, I was just looking up Turtle Kid. Like 15 million search results came up when I did Turtle Kid, and on IG there was like 50 names at least, and I was like, I can't find
the Turtle Kid.
The Turtle Kid, yeah. All fake accounts, all bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are you gonna do?
We digress, my friend.
We digress. Okay. It is Mini Holidays. If you didn't hear me screaming before the Turtle Kid interruption.
But if you know his whereabouts, please email us
at mixture@gmail.com.
At Gmail.
Yes. It's fucking great.
All right, gang.
All right, so that is the situation with the Turtle Kid. But now it's everybody's favorite segment of the show, Mini Holidays.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Ain't nobody got time for that.
We got time for it.
Nikki P. Yes, we do. All right, so how about you knock these out? Because,
I will. All right, peeps. Here at Mixture of Variety, we believe every day is a holiday, which it is. We should be grateful for the things we do have instead of hateful and ungrateful for the things we don't have or what other people have. Because that shit ain't cute. So we found a list that actually correlates to this and lists holidays celebrated every day. Some are serious, some are wild, some make no sense, and some are hilarious.
Exactly.
So let's see. It is Friday, March 19th. We got Certified Nurses Day.
All right. Shouts to all the nurses out there.
You see the little baby?
Yeah. Biggest cheeks ever.
Yeah. It is. I celebrated this Clients Day.
Clients Day. All right.
All the clients. We love you.
Clients you're dealing with, whatever.
We celebrate this every day. Let's Laugh Day.
Yes. You can laugh every day. That's positive energy and laughs. That's what the show is about. Let's Laugh Day. We celebrate that every single day.
It is.
Oh, she's frozen out of place hot. Nikki, you're frozen. Folks, we seem to have lost EP. Just hope the reason. Maybe she connect. National Backyard Day, which you last say. Like a fire back, I can't wait for the spring. So happy for one another. So happy for one another. And so happy for one another. And fires in the backyard. So they're celebrating fucking camping, campfires, late nights outside by the water or anywhere. I can't wait. It's also National Chocolate Caramel Day. National Chocolate Caramel Day. I mean, that sounds delicious. Can you left for a second? So don't worry, she's gonna just come back in, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, wait. Here she comes. Here she comes. Hold on. Here comes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. There she is. She's back.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I was on National Backyard Day.
We're actually up to National Poultry Day, so just read that one.
Oh, yeah. No, I got there, but then you went black.
Okay, yeah. Just go to the next one. Just go to
National Preschool Teachers Appreciation Day.
There you go. Okay. I mean, you definitely have to appreciate them. They go through a lot. You know what I mean? Between like shitty diapers and bathroom issues and snotty noses and germs and like, crying. All of it. All the above. You know what I mean?
I couldn't do it. No thanks.
No way. Me either.
It is Red Nose Day. I don't know what that is. I'm a little red though. Myself.
Yeah. Well, it's a UK thing, so what are you gonna do?
Oh, my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Out with a bang. World Sleep Day, which ironically ties into what we're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. That's been happening a lot, actually. Perfect segues into what we're talking about, the main topic, because we go through, obviously, you guys know, we go through 3 different segments of the show. And that is the end of the second segment of the show, which is Mini Holidays. So that is Mini Holidays for Friday, March 19th. Let's give it up for
All right. What's on today's agenda?
Today, we are going to be talking about the 5 stages of grief. I think it's an important topic to talk about, and I don't think it's anything that we touched so far, actually. So, shouts to you, Nikki P. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, most of the topics that you see on the show is all Nikki P. I can't take blame for it.
Damn, and I had a good one too, and I forgot to text it to you.
Oh, all right. Well,
and us, we have early onset dementia.
Yeah, just keep thinking of them and jot them down, and I try to do the same. But yeah, 5 stages of grief. This is really important because
a lot of people have been dying.
Exactly. It definitely seems like a lot of people have been dying. It seems like the people that are dying are actually triggering memories of other people in our lives that passed away. That is leading to some type of depression, or if it just happened, the 5 stages it's very powerful. Actually, it's very powerful how the mind works and how we we actually go through each one, like each stage.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do tonight, Nikki P, is we are going to celebrate death with life. Okay? That's how I put it on IG, I believe. We're going to celebrate death with life. We're going to talk about all 5 of them. We're going to discuss them. We're going to read about it, and then we can talk and share our opinions as well.
All right. Let's get to it.
Okay, when we lose a loved one, Nikki P, the pain we experience can be unbearable. Understandably, grief is complicated, and we sometimes wonder if the pain will ever end. We go through a variety of emotions and experience, such as anger, confusion, and sadness. All right, so go ahead. You read what it is. The 5 stages of grief. They're gonna list it right now.
So it's a theory that was developed by a psychiatrist. It suggests that we go through 5 distinctive stages of grief after the loss of a loved one. They include stage 1, denial, stage 2, anger, stage 3, bargaining, stage 4, depression, and finally, stage 5, acceptance.
Yes. Now, what I've also realized, we're not going to be talking about this tonight, but what I've also realized is that those 5 stages are very similar to a breakup.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it's
kind
super
of like
relatable.
Right. It's kind of like you lost that person is no longer in your life. You lost that person, somebody that you love, somebody that you were with, whatever. And you kind of go through
friendship.
the same. Absolutely. You kind of go through the same stages, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're just going to talk about actual people passing away. All right, so denial obviously is the first one.
What is denial, Patient Zero?
The first stage in this theory, denial, helps us minimize the overwhelming pain of loss. As we process the reality of our loss, we are also trying to survive emotional pain. It can be hard to believe that we have lost an important person in our lives, especially when we have just spoken with this person the previous week or even the previous day. You know, when it goes like that, it's
yeah.
Some people say it's better like that, and some people say obviously the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You know, if they just go like that, or if they like are suffering for a while, like the person's gonna die, like they have cancer or something. I mean, I don't know. Either way, it's horrible. And either way it's horrible, and either way you will experience denial.
Yeah.
Our reality has shifted completely in this moment of loss. You can't comprehend what's going on. Like you don't really understand that this person, you know what I mean? Like what even happened to this person?
Yeah.
It can take our mind some time to adjust to this new reality. Absolutely. We are reflecting on the experiences we have shared with the person we have lost. We might find ourselves wondering how to move forward in life without this person.
Facts.
It's a lot of information to explore and a lot of painful imagery to process. Denial attempts to slow this process down and takes us through it one step at a time, rather than risk the potential of feeling overwhelmed by our emotions. I think human beings are programmed like that for that reason, so you don't have a complete breakdown suddenly. Like if you experience all of these stages all at once, you would be in a psych hospital for a while, just with a blank stare, not even knowing what's happening. That's why you have to go through each stage. And obviously the first one, if you hear something terrible like that, is you're just not going to believe it.
Yeah. I mean, my example, obviously we've all lost a loved one. So for me, like my relation with denial, like the first stage, like, okay, someone dies, you're in a shock. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a shock, just like, okay, did I just hear this? So, every time I've heard of someone passing away close to me, I answer the phone and I'm like, okay, I gotta go, bye. Like, I don't even talk. I don't want to. Like, I need a minute. And I want to be off the phone.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. And definitely understandable and definitely relatable. It's something that it's that first feeling when you find out that someone close to you passed away. It's like, especially if you just talk to them, it's kind of, because you're in such disbelief, it's hard for you to even picture and understand what's going on in your head and trying to realize that, okay, so wait, what does that mean? Like, I can't talk to this person again? Like, what does that mean? I can't see that person again?
Yeah.
The denial part, I know we're going into anger right now, but the denial part to me, what I found out in my life experiences is like, you find out this information, you're sad, you're confused, you're lost, you're trying to figure things out. But as soon as it's time for the funeral, then like that's the cement on it. Like once you actually see either an open casket, especially an open casket, a closed casket, knowing that that is like what you are there for, is for this one person to know, you know, like it actually solidifies it and it makes it real. To me, that's when it always, like, the denial part leaves me. And then maybe we'll go into the second stage, which is anger. You want to bang that out?
Anger. It is very common to experience anger after the loss of a loved one. We are trying to adjust to a new reality, and we are likely experiencing an extreme emotional discomfort. There is so much to process that anger may feel like it allows us an emotional outlet. Keep in mind that anger does not require us to be very vulnerable. However, it tends to be more socially acceptable than admitting we are scared. Anger allows us to express emotion with less fear of judgment or rejection. Unfortunately, anger tends to be the first thing we feel when we start to release emotions related to a loss. This can leave you feeling isolated in your experience and perceived as unapproachable by others in moments when we could benefit from comfort, connection, and reassurance.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten angry. I mean, angry like, why'd this person leave me? Like, why'd this person die? But I've never been angry. I've been more questionable. Mm-hmm. Like questions, wondering.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the anger comes from, or is directed to, I should say, to like God or a high power, if you are religious or spiritual. Like, for example, my grandparents died when they were very young, right? My grandfather died so young that I never even met him. I wasn't even born at that time. I think he died at like 58 or some shit like that.
Damn.
When he died, my grandma was so angry at God. You know what I mean? Was like a spiritual, religious person and was so angry at God that like came to the point was like that's where all the anger was directed to, was God.
Yeah.
Like, how could you do this? You know, after all this and you know, the relationship that we had, and now it almost came to the point where she was like almost atheist, like she didn't even believe at the, you know, anymore. Luckily that did change, because then she got diagnosed with cancer, and then she got a relationship back with God, which I'm very happy to hear.
Yeah,
before she actually passed. But I think that's mainly where it is from. Like, I don't know where else you would direct the anger from, because it's like, who else, you know, this person's not there anymore. Could you be maybe angry at the person? Like maybe if it was a suicide or
that's what I'm thinking.
Like yeah.
That would make sense. Or someone like drinking and driving, or like using drugs, knowing that they will kill you if you, overdo it. Right. So that's where I would be angry. I mean, really someone super close to me. I mean, that has happened, but like, you know, they were just doing it to themselves for so long, like my family member, that like when it did happen, I was just like, well, no shit.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't angry. I was upset. Yeah. Here's my thing. I'm not scared to be upset. Like, I'm not scared to cry. You know? So I think people take their... Yeah, I think people take their sadness and then it's like, I need to be angry at someone.
Right.
Or something.
Right. And if it's something like a cancer or a spiritual or God, that's totally different than like if someone overdoses or kills themselves. And then even that is totally different than if someone gets murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like a specific person, like you're in the courtroom. You see those videos of like the family in the courtroom that they just like
I couldn't even imagine.
like how could you be in the same room with somebody that like murdered your kid or murdered your girlfriend or murdered whoever? Like,
Okay, then I'd be angry.
you know what I'm saying? Like, or a drunk driver, like you said. If it was a drunk driver and they killed themselves, you would be angry at them. If it was a drunk driver that killed this fucking innocent life that was driving, 10 and 2, doing the speed limit, got hit by a car, had, the world in front of them, and they died, like, that is like, the anger would just be too much to take. I feel like in a case like that, I would never get past stage 2.
No.
I don't know how I would ever get past stage 2. And my life would be fucked forever. Okay, this one, to me, was a little bit confusing, but this one is bargaining. When coping with a loss, it isn't unusual to feel so desperate that you are willing to do almost anything to alleviate or minimize pain. Losing a loved one can cause us to consider any way we can to avoid the current pain or the pain we are anticipating from loss. There are many ways to try to bargain. Bargaining can come in a variety of promises. Including, God, if you this person, I will turn my life around. Okay, so this is like, I guess, before they even die.
Yeah.
Obviously. So someone can't be dead and be like, all right, if you bring this person back, I'll do this and this.
So terminal illness.
Yes. I promise to do better if you let this person live. I'll never get angry again if you can stop him or her from dying or leaving me. That's really rough. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it, what are people's opinions, thoughts, views, and opinions on if someone just goes right away suddenly, or if someone is, like in a situation like that, they have cancer, or that they're going to be dying, aggressively getting worse, having some sickness, and then you're like praying, like, oh God, please, like, that's rough. That's crazy. In my situation, it would always be, take me instead, like that type of shit.
See, I wouldn't do that, but I would. I mean, I've been in both situations. I've seen someone die in front of me over a couple months, and I've had, my loved ones die suddenly. I mean, for me, an OCD planner, knowing someone's dying, it just gives you time to think, and that bargaining comes and all that shit comes. Honestly, I say, I don't know which way is better.
Yeah.
Because then if they just go suddenly, you're like, shit, I had to tell them some things. Like, I had to let you know some things. So either way you slice it and dice it, I believe it's just shitty either way.
Right, exactly. I mean, you can't, like, you can't argue that point because it's whatever you believe. You know what I mean? It's not like going to say, like, no, I believe this being better because it's just, I feel like everybody in my life, in my lifetime that has died, it's been completely suddenly. It hasn't been dragged out at all.
Yeah.
Suddenly. So that's really all I know to compare it to, but I mean, I found out some shit last week. I had a friend, I did a show last Monday I dedicated to her. My friend Julie, since I knew her since I was 5 years old, and I knew her my whole life, even though we didn't really keep, in contact for the last 10 years, but she died, and I found out some stuff, and it was like, because it was just so sudden, and, it's just, she's my age too. She was a week older than me, so we were very close in age, and she has a huge family like I do, and the family, forget about it. Like, I couldn't physically go to the funeral, but my mom did, and she was telling me some stuff, and it was just like, it's just too much to take. It's too much to take, you know what I mean? It's not like when you lose a parent, like, you're not supposed to lose your kid. You're not supposed to lose your kid.
No.
It's not like the order of life. Okay, so anyway, when bargaining starts to take place, we are often directed our request to a higher power. Yes, for sure.
Definitely.
I feel like even people that are atheists are just like, please, something. or something bigger than we are able to influence a different outcome. There's an acute awareness of our humanness in these moments when we realize that there is nothing we can do to influence change or a better end result. The feeling of helplessness can cause us to react in protest by bargaining, which gives us a perceived sense of control over something that feels so out of control. That's true too. You have to do it, just for your sanity to even think that you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same outcome, you could at least say like, well, I did my part. While bargaining, we also tend to focus on our personal faults or regrets. We might look back at our interactions with the person we are losing and note all the times we felt disconnected or may have caused them pain. That's so difficult too. This is a bad one. This is a bad stage.
Yeah. No thanks.
You start thinking about all those things like what if, or I should have done this differently, or I should have called, or been in contact more often, or whatever. It's rough. In conclusion, it is common to recall the times that we have said things that we did not mean and wish we can go back and behave differently. We also tend to make the drastic assumption that if things have played out differently, we would not be in such a emotionally painful place in our lives.
Facts.
Like, what do you do in a drug overdose situation? It's just like, I could have been there, or like a suicide. I could have been there, I could have done something, like, and then you just kill yourself with the guilt and the shame is just too much,
Well, literally, I was leaving a meeting years ago, and I was meeting an old boyfriend of mine. He was so skinny. It was disgusting. I was like, are you okay? And mind you, like, not to stray off the subject, but we used to have, like, amazing sex, and everything was just great. And then that night, I saw him, and again, I'm clean. And he was not, clearly, and like we went to my apartment and I was just like, oh my God, like the turn off. And I was just like, do you need help? I was like, why don't you come with me? But then after that night, or morning, I should say, I was just so turned off. And then the next thing I knew, like, dead. And I'm like, oh shit. That's where I'm like, oh, I should have just pushed it. I should have checked in. I should have invited. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's rough. It's definitely, you know what though? You did more than most, I'm sure. Even just to ask like if he's okay.
Yeah. I literally said, dude, you don't look good. Like, all right. Oh, one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I was going to say all these stages right now that are already so heavy and, hard to deal with now brings you to the next one.
Depression. Oh, I hate being depressed. During our experience of the processing grief, there comes a time where our imaginations calm down. Ooh, excuse me. That was awful. Oh my God. That brought a tear to my eye.
Live television, ladies and gentlemen.
When our imaginations calm down and we slowly start to look at the reality of our present situation, bargaining no longer feels like an option, and we are faced what is happening. We start to feel the loss of our loved one more abundantly. As our panic begins to subside, the emotional fog begins to clear, and the loss feels more present and unavoidable. In those moments, we tend to pull inward as the sadness grows. We might find ourselves retreating, being less sociable, and reaching out to others of what we are going through. Although this is a very natural stage of grief, dealing with depression after the loss of a loved one can be extremely isolating.
Yep, absolutely.
And if you or a loved one are struggling with depression, contact Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration National Helpline at 1-800 662-4357, which will help find support for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great that you said the number out loud, because some people really need to get in contact with people if they don't know where to turn to. The worst thing that I was thinking of just now when you're reading that, as far as the depression part, is you hit all these other stages and then you get to depression. There are people that died with, I'm not even gonna say it because YouTube, but C19, and you couldn't go near them. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't hug relatives. You couldn't go to the hospital to see them. I mean, that's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. I think that's the worst thing about this whole pandemic, hands down.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it.
Or even the elderly in nursing homes, not including Granny, but the elderly, I was crying when I saw like them being so alone, and it's like their family was visiting through a window.
Exactly.
And you know how I feel about the elderly. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's sad in it by itself. But then, like, when you're getting really sick and you can't even see them, or you're getting really sick and they're dying on a bed and you're still, you're watching them through the glass? Like, you can't throw yourself on them and like, hug them or anything. And with your other relatives, the same thing. You just can't get...
And like for me, in my experience, like my depression takes me like to drugs or to drinking, like excessively. It's not even like, oh, I'm going to leisurely enjoy a bottle of wine. Like, no, I'm going to have 3.
Right.
And maybe
100%.
do some other wildness. Why not?
100%. I mean, why do addicts use in the first place? Most of the time they want to change how they're feeling currently. Right. So
Yeah.
They want to numb themselves. They want to take away their pain. They want to take away anxiety. They just want to feel better in that moment. If you're depressed, there are things that you can take and do that are going to make you not feel depressed for that moment. You'll probably feel a lot worse later on, but for that moment, you just got to take away that pain.
Yeah. And I feel like when it comes to death, it's something you got to go through the ride. You got to go through these stages.
Yeah.
Because you'll never hit stage 5.
Right. Which, it does come in time. It does come. It's some people it takes a lot longer than others, but eventually you do get to this stage, which is acceptance. When we come to a place of acceptance, it's not that we no longer feel the pain of loss, because that's always going to be there. However, we are no longer resisting the reality of our situation, and we are not struggling to make something different. Sadness and regret can still be present in this phase, but the emotional survival tactics of denial, bargaining, and anger are less likely to be present, which means that you could basically live more of a normal life. You still feel all these in your heart, and you're still struggling, but you can still function in life, and you can still do things, and you can still take care of your family, and you can still take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Where it's not just so overwhelming that's the only thing that you think about night and day. And you're probably not sleeping, the whole line. I don't even know what this is. You wanna read this too? The types of grief, and then we can just end it like that.
Oh no, it's just going over the stages again.
It's just going over it again? Okay.
Yeah, like additional models.
Okay. So I will end it. Actually, you know what? I'm glad I just said something. I just reminded myself. Your pain is unique to you. Your relationship to the person you lost is unique, and emotional processing can feel different to each person. It is acceptable for you to take the time you need to remove any expectations of how you should be performing as you process your grief, which means what I just said before. Everybody has, deals with it their own way, and everybody deals with it and takes their whatever amount of time that they need.
And then I think something that helped me personally, and I'm not even going to let anyone know what show I got this from, but like it helped put death into perspective with the acceptance piece, where it was just like, the question was asked, like, where do people go when they die? And it was so simply stated. And I was just like, oh, no shit. It's like, you got to bring it back to basics. Like you're a little 5-year-old. And, the answer was like, they go to heaven, or a heaven of your understanding. But like, heaven could be what we're doing right now. Heaven could be, for me personally, I'm with my family and friends. I got some music going. I'm eating a meat and cheese board. I'm having some Prosecco and some seafood. And that could be my heaven, in a nice, comfy bed with the Golden Girls playing.
Yeah, there you go. You can create that heaven on earth, because we don't know anything. We don't really know what happens afterwards. We don't know what happens when we are not, like I always say, we're spiritual beings living a human experience. So the spirit leaves, we leave the body, but where does that spirit go? Nobody really knows. What I don't want to believe is, I was talking to you before the show, Nikki, as far as like the Hindu religion, as far as like we just keep being reincarnated onto this earth, like into a different body. I pray to God that's not the case. I pray to God.
I don't want it.
Even if we're not going to like remember it, we're not going to have any recollection of it. But still, like, really, there's got to be something else. Like, what's the next dimension? I want to go to the next place. All right, I just want to end it with this. I found a really short poem writing from Maya Angelou. It's called "When I Think of Death." When I think of death, and of late the idea has come with alarming frequency, I seem at peace with the idea that a day will dawn when I will no longer be among those living in the valley of strange humors. I can accept the idea of my own demise, but I am unable to accept the death of anyone else. That's how I feel these days. I'm not scared of death, but everybody around me, I don't want them to die.
No.
I find it impossible to let a friend or relative go into that country of no return. Disbelief becomes my close companion, and anger follows in its wake. I answer the heroic question, "Death, where is thy sting?" with, "It is here my heart and my mind and memories." We are the people, the people that are still here on this earth are the ones that suffer. The people that pass on are obviously not suffering. So that's really what she was saying. I wanted to end it with that. I thought I was going to forget, but I'm happy I remembered. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for Friday, March 19th. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is Mixture of Variety. We put the Odd in Podcast. We have an audio show live. If you want to catch it live, you have to download Castbox FM, the Castbox app on Google or Apple. Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're live. If you can't catch the live show, it's all good. We're on all different podcast platforms. All you have to do is Google us. Follow us on IG. You'll get the 401 of the show, and you also see the craziest banners of your life. And you also get notified what we're talking about hours before the show. That's the whole reason why we have it. It's a business account. I don't fuck around doing it.
So follow, like, and subscribe.
Yes, and tonight, for being Friday, our YouTube show, thank you for tuning in and watching right now. Like Nikki P says, like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. You know what I mean? Just share it. Click the little share button or share it, vocally out of your mouth. Just share it.
I could share it right now.
Yeah.
Bam, shared.
Shared. Just share it. Just share it. Subscribe. We almost have 200 subscribers, which is awesome as well. So we love you guys so much for watching. We love you guys for liking.
Thank you.
For everything. And also catch us on Bigo.
Just don't go dying on us.
Yeah, right. But yeah, please don't be dying on us. That wouldn't be good.
We
are officially on Bigo now at InDaMix, INDAMIX at InDaMix. Get it? Mixture of Variety at InDaMix on Bigo. You'll see my face on there a lot. And Nikki P's face as well very soon. She's gonna have to make an account. And with that, if you see the Turtle Kid, he's still missing. Please email us, mixtureofvariety@gmail.com. And that's all we have to say for tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Any last words, Nikki P?
Happy Friday, and please relax.
Yes.
Have peace with yourself and with others, and share the love.
Absolutely. Very well said. You guys have a wonderful weekend. This is your boy, Patient Zero, signing off with my beautiful co-host,
Nikki P.
Deuces. You guys have a good one.
Bye.